Hey everybody, it's Kat from Kit Kat About All That, here to do the anime tag that I got tagged in months ago by Merriman6825. I think that's his whole screen name, but anyways, he tagged me originally along with several others. So here to moderate the questions so I don't have to look down at my phone is my sister Ange.
Hey everybody! Alright, ready?
Alright, I'm ready.
Okay, let's do this. First question, what is your favorite anime of all time?
Yona of the Dawn, but before that it would have been Cowboy Bebop.
Okay, and the worst anime of all time?
I haven't had any anime that I didn't like that I finished. I don't stick around for it.
Gotcha. Do you read the manga that go with the anime?
I do. I usually do. Sometimes not before I see the anime. Sometimes I've discovered the anime before the manga. So.
Gotcha. What is your favorite genre?
Fantasy. I like fantasy.
Fantasy. Gotcha. And who's your favorite character?
Wow. Probably Shirayuki from Snow White. With the red hair.
Okay. What are some of the qualities that you look for or that make a character likable to you?
I like characters that have room to grow and that do actually get to grow within the writing. So whether they start off from the bottom being like a plain one-dimensional character to going all the way to the top to being one of my favorites, they don't necessarily have to make it to my favorites, but I like the quality of if they're bad, why are they bad, you know? So it's not necessarily qualities so much that matter to me as the story behind why they are the way they are.
Okay. Do you prefer long or short anime?
Ooh, this is a double-edged sword because most anime are 13 episodes, sometimes 23. If you get more than that, you're getting lucky. So short is what I'm used to, and that's good for most of those stories, but long is good because then I don't have to say goodbye to anybody.
She doesn't need to goodbye. No, I know. No. Do you prefer anime or manga?
There have been some manga that translated better into anime, and then there have been some that's just better as manga. So it's neither. I like both equally. How
do you choose the anime you watch?
I usually read the description to it. If it's something that piques my interest, I will watch it. Sometimes I do get suggestions about what to watch, and sometimes those suggestions I'm like, no, that won't possibly be anything good I want to watch.
Name something that was suggested to you that you normally wouldn't have watched that you're very happy now that you decided to take that suggestion.
Erin over at Happily Erin, in several of her videos and all over her social medias, was talking about Kuroko no Basket, and I was like, no, I'm not. I don't. Never did sports anime. I'm not. I was like, why would I watch sports anime when I can go play it? And so after watching several of her videos, I went ahead and watched it, and I was like, oh my god, I missed out on this gem. And there was so many other sports anime that I, after that, watched and was like, I missed out. So now I have this philosophy of I try it. If after 3 episodes it's not my cup of tea, at least I could say I tried it.
Got you. Are there any animes that you've heard about or that have been suggested to you that you just have said that can't possibly be for me?
Yes, several people have been talking about this new anime that started this season, Keijo, which is butt and boob wrestling.
Oh, well.
They reassure me that their story and that it's really good, but it just does not sound like anything I would
And
watch.
is it all female butt and boob wrestling, or I mean, I assume that the boob is all female because guys don't have, you know,
Right?
unless they're samurai. I'm not samurai, but sumo
wrestlers.
Yeah.
I would think it's all girls, but I have not checked it out. If I get around to it, it will probably be something that makes it to Hulu, and it's I have a couple hours to burn.
Got you. Do you skip or do you listen to the opening and songs?
Usually I watch it the first time it's a new opening or a new ending. I'll watch it. If it's one I like, I'll continue to watch it and let it play. If it's one that I didn't really care for, I'll skip through it. But I give it a try.
Favorite opening?
Oh wow. Can't remember the title of the song, but Full Metal Alchemist. All their opening and endings have been really, really good. So my favorite was definitely in Full Metal Alchemist, but I can't remember the specific song.
Worst ending. Worst opening, ending / whichever.
In Naruto.
I knew you were gonna pick that one. I just knew it.
In Naruto, I think it was a closing 3 in the original series. It's a slow song, and Sakura and Ino are just doing this kind of through the whole thing. And I just could not get into that.
I think that was the one we complained the most about, for sure.
That would be the only one that stands out in my mind.
Say your friends and your family don't like you watching anime. How would you cope with that?
I don't actually have to stretch my mind on this too much. My family doesn't really care. They watch anime. Well, my siblings watch anime. My mom and dad, it's not their cup of tea. But my friends, in junior high school, my first anime was when I was 8, and it was my sibling introduced it to me. So I never knew it was maybe not something you go talking about.
She's talking about one half. She was 8.
I didn't know that it was not something that was cool. So when I got to middle school, I found that certain Dragon Ball Z was widely accepted in middle school, and so was Sailor Moon. But if you watched anything more than that, or gushed anything more than that, or read manga, you were somebody that people bullied, and I had been one of those kids that didn't have a clique. I was accepted in several different groups, but once they figured out, oh, you're one of those ones that like anime and read it.
You're a nerdy weeb. Excommunicated.
I got pushed aside, but it made me realize where my true friends were, the people that were going to accept it. And while that list went down, it grew again in high school, because in high school I found my niche, because suddenly the few from different middle schools were all in the same high school, and we all got together. We were a big group instead of a group of 3.
Do you stop an anime midway if you don't like it?
Yes, I usually, if after 3 or 6 episodes it just doesn't connect to me, or it really just is not something, it's like something I'm like gritting my teeth. I can't do this. I just admit defeat and put it aside, and sometimes a couple of years later I have been known to go back and rewatch it. One Piece, when I was in high school, I got from a friend for my birthday. I got Shonen Jump, and while I had One Piece in it, and along with a couple of other things, and it was good to read. But when the anime first came around, it wasn't. I was like,
Not your cup of tea.
not my cup of tea. And now I like it.
And now you like it. You think you attribute that just to, people change, and over time your tastes changed, and your outlook on life changed. What do you think was the defining change in your life that made you go from not relating into it to all of a sudden,
Oh, because it was I think it was because in high school I tried to like what my friends liked.
gotcha.
So I liked all the anime that my nice little group of friends liked, because I didn't want to be put in that position again that I was in middle school, to be pushed aside, kicked aside. So then after high school it was like, well, I don't care. I know I didn't have anybody to justify it to, and that's
Well, that's a good reality that everybody needs to kind of face, is you are who you are, and it doesn't really matter whether or not somebody else approves of who you are, because that's who you are.
Yeah.
Anime couple that you ship. It
a
says
lot.
couple. That's one.
I know.
One couple.
I ship a lot. I ship a lot of couples. I can't watch anything without shipping. I've tried. I've tried very hard, and everybody just laughs at me. But I will go with the first couple I've ever shipped as far as anime goes, and that would be Ranma and Akane from Ranma 1/2. I didn't ship Ranma with anybody else or Akane with anybody else. I shipped those two together.
And your OTP?
Naruto and Sasuke.
I kind of thought you might go with that.
For life.
I have to just say, I can totally
I
see that.
swear, to this day, there's times where I'm like, are you sure, Kishi? Are you really sure that they're not in love with each other?
No, they're in love with each other. They are totally in love with each other. They just will never admit it. Don't get me wrong.
I love
Naruto and Hinata.
I love Naruhina and Saku. I love them to pieces. I seriously would have been all aboard, full steam ahead. Consider me trash if it went Naruto and Sasuke.
Has an anime ever made you cry?
Yes, several of them, but 1 Week Friends made me cry every episode. That is an emotional roller coaster ride. You've never watched it, but
No,
but it's kind of like 50 First Dates. Like
Gotcha.
every day, every Monday, she would
that's
forget everything.
horrible.
Well, everything good. So he kept having to make friends with her over every week. So it was just really emotional. And then Angel Beats, the ending. Oh my gosh, I had big crocodile tears and ugly snot bubbles.
What was harder for you, those two, or what made you? I mean, snot, bubble, tears. Oh my God, heartbroken, kill me now, put me out of my misery. The ending off of Angel Beats, or the emotional turmoil you go through watching Sasuke go to Orochimaru's own free will.
Oh wow. Probably Sasuke. Just because I was so emotionally attached to Sasuke. I was so. It was like he was my friend. It was like he was leaving me too. Whereas Angel Beats was just this series that I loved, but I wasn't. And I kind of could during the 13 episode 13. I think it's 13. I need to rewatch that and go through the emotional pain again. But you kind of get the feeling that it's not going to be happily ever after. I mean, all the characters in Angel Beats are dead anyways.
Mm-hmm. So it was harder with Sasuke because you didn't. I mean, you got hints that, when Orochimaru says you're going to come find me, But you really didn't know he really was gonna go find
it
it.
was like, oh my god, this is just no. And then the long amount of time it took to get Sasuke back. Every time you encountered him, it was just that. Put a knife into me, it would hurt less.
Yeah, the stab wound couldn't heal because they kept taking the knife out and putting it back in. Yeah.
It was like I was locked in Sasuke's genjutsu.
Ew, that's hell. I think that's hell. I think that's hell.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that's what hell's gonna be like.
Yeah.
If I ever go there, I'll let you know.
Yeah,
but
right.
I'm planning on skipping that.
Yeah.
Which anime made you laugh the loudest?
It's to this day, it still makes me laugh the loudest, and it's not so much so that it's because it's so funny. It's Rama One Half, and it's because it's perverted. And every time I watch it, I remember that I first saw it when I was 8
in the living room with a
the
brother.
Living room with my brother, and now I'm like, wow, that was maybe not so appropriate for me.
Yeah, she had very appropriate siblings. Trust me. We never let her do anything inappropriate. There was no horror movies. Yeah, none of that. No.
Nudity.
Never.
Grandpa's busting open. Shirts. Like, Rama One Half. I remember dying of laughter at 8 because this perverted, short little, I swear he looked like a monkey, grandpa just busts open this dude's shirt because he turned into a girl and his boobs just pop out, and it was just the funniest thing to me at 8, and I watched it the other day and going, wow, that was not at all appropriate. Hey everybody, we're back after I had a minor hearing issue, so we had to stop the tape and start it again. So what was the question again?
If you could make a spin-off of any anime, what would it be?
Yona of the Dawn, because I would really like to have a series just all about Hawk.
Just about him, like screw everybody else, or just like from his perspective, in the same story, just told from his side of things.
Probably the same story from his side of things, but I wouldn't mind having more of what happened from his point of view when they were younger, because you get flashbacks from Yona's, so you know how it was with her, but you don't know what was going through his head.
Gotcha.
So I would like that.
Okay. List your top 5 anime.
Attack on Titan, Cowboy Bebop, Yona of the Dawn, Baccano, and Natsume Yujincho.
Okay. What are your top 5 original soundtracks?
Full Metal Alchemist has awesome soundtrack, even in Brotherhood, but we'll consider those two the same. So, Full Metal Alchemist, Attack on Titan, Yona of the Dawn, Snow White with the Red Hair, and Naruto Shippuden has some really good original soundtracks.
Okay. Which 3 anime would you recommend the most?
Yona of the Dawn, Attack on Titan, and Baccano.
You're really into Yona of the Dawn, aren't you?
Yeah, Yona of the Dawn. Am I driving you nuts with it yet?
What is your favorite romance anime?
Snow White with the red hair.
All right. And your favorite MOE?
Honey Senpai.
Okay. What is your favorite comedy?
One Piece.
Action?
Attack on Titan. We'll go with Attack on Titan.
Horror?
Helsing.
Ichi?
Trinity 7.
Okay. Mech?
Neon Genesis Evangelion.
Drama?
Kamasami Kiss.
And your favorite slice of life anime?
Natsume Yujinso.
Adventure?
Inuyasha?
Okay. I think we already touched on this, but just in case I'm wrong, what is the first anime you ever saw?
We did touch on it, but it wasn't a question asked previously. It was just information divulged. But Rama 1/2, I was 8. It was something my brother was watching. Good job. But he introduced me to anime.
He did, and this is a good thing. This is a wonderful thing. Okay. Tough. My favorite question, probably gonna be your hardest. Harem, you only get to choose. List them.
But I got like 20.
6.
Oh wow. I'm gonna warn you, I'm trash for Uchiha, so my consists mainly of those. Hawk from Yona the Dawn, Zen from Snow White with the red hair, Sasuke Uchiha, Itachi Madara, and Tomoe.
Okay. What's the most times you've watched an anime?
I think I watched Attack on Titan like 4 or 5 times.
Okay. What anime do you regret watching?
I don't. I've seen so much, and for a very long period of time, anime's been in my life, so I don't remember ever regretting watching an anime.
Okay. Who's your husbando? 1.
You're making me choose.
1. Just 1.
Do you realize how?
1.
Fine. We'll stick with the trend. We'll go with the trend of
Hawk. All right. Waifu.
Wow, good one. Shirayuki.
From Snow
Snow
White with the
White.
red hair. And why would she be?
She is good, a good herbalist, so she makes remedies. She's really good with that, and she's got a good sense of adventure. She's quick on her feet. She looks really good with that red hair. She does look good with red hair, and with the big green eyes.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah.
What character do you think you're the most like?
Akane from Rama 1/2.
And why is that?
She has a quick temper.
Okay, because you have no temper.
You're
None.
sweet. You're sweet. You're sweet.
No tempers. Do you watch a new anime because you think it will be good, or because it's popular? And popular opinion says you must watch this.
No, usually I pick anime if it's new in the fall lineup or whatever season it is. I will read the descriptions and info, and if it's something that really sticks out at me and piques my interest, I watch it. But I also do take recommendations, even if I protest on certain recommendations.
A recommendation that you've taken that you now are really, really happy that you took.
Aaron recommended Kuroko no Basuke. Miss Art recommended Yona the Dawn, and those two, I'm like, yes! I am so glad that I didn't miss out on those. Well, I technically did because Yona the Dawn hasn't had a second season yet, and I believe Kuroko no Basuke is over. So,
Bummer.
missed out on it.
What anime would you make a game for, and why?
Confession time. I do not pay attention to gaming nearly as much as I would like to. So I have no idea what animes based off of a game and what games are based off of anime. So if it's not been done, I would say Snow White with red hair, because there's adventures that would be really cool to play out. Like, and when she was kidnapped by the pirates,
Mm-hmm.
that would have been really cool to play on the game.
So you'd make it like a Dungeons and Dragons kind of role-playing. Gotcha. Have you ever watched an anime that was longer than 23 episodes?
Yes, Naruto comes to mind, One Piece, Bleach.
And would you watch one that was longer than 100 episodes?
Yes, those three are all more than 100 episodes.
And we happily watch them.
Happily watch them. Happily do.
Have you ever watched an anime only because of one certain character?
I think I've been guilty of this when I was in junior high school, because after so many episodes, I started in junior high school. I got bored with stuff really easily. So after so many episodes, Sailor Moon just started to be blah to me. But I stuck around just because of one specific character. I think it was just Sailor Moon herself, actually.
Okay. Name a popular anime that you love.
Well, Naruto, I love. One Piece.
Name a popular anime that you're not fond of.
Bleach. It's not that I'm not fond of it. I wasn't fond of it at one time. It was, the story should have ended, and because it was so popular, they chose to keep it going, and they just really had no story to write it on. So it didn't matter that I loved these characters, and I loved the premise of what the show is originally about. It just it didn't end. You need to know when to end the story.
Gotcha. Is there an anime or two that you wish were more popular?
I'm gonna drive y'all nuts with this. I'm telling you. Yona of the Dawn and Snow White with the red hair. However, I do admit that Snow White with the red hair is more popular in terms of it's out there, and it had its second season. It just ended its second season in the summer, and so Yona of the Dawn. But those two definitely need to get more love.
Okay, what are your thoughts on live action adaptations?
If the story is good and it's done correctly, because nobody loves bad CGI or bad special effects. Nobody loves it. But I will say that there's been some that have had live adaptations that were really good, but it just really depends.
Okay, sidebar, just a couple questions that are just kind of my own. What are your thoughts on anime that are dealing with social issues that we are having such a hard time with in today's society? Such Yuri on Ice comes to mind.
Bless you.
Excuse me, sorry, I don't know where that came from. Yuri on Ice comes to mind with its undercurrents in your face. I'm about, perhaps, maybe not, this gay couple or two individual bisexual men who find each other attractive. What are your thoughts on that?
I think that it's good. I mean, I wish it would be done more often. Yeah, we had Free, Eternal Summer, and Haiku, and a few others that pushed the boundary, but they didn't quite take you there. They left it for your interpretation. Whereas what I've seen of Yuri on Ice, it seems to be going in the sense of they're not gonna just pull back or leave it to your interpretation, which makes me admire it even more, love it even more, as I'll say in my review video for it that I'm doing, if the mediums that you choose for entertainment aren't pushing the boundaries, you're living in a bubble, and it's not the real world. The real world is ever changing and evolving, and so I like that it's pushing the boundaries.
We have to be made uncomfortable, and we have to push those boundaries in order to grow as a race of human beings. I agree with you there.
So I mean, I love Yuri on Ice. It's probably a favorite of mine from this season. And I hope that they continue on the way they're going. But we've only had, I think, 3 episodes as of this video recording. 3 episodes.
And what are your thoughts on the kind of in-your-face slap on the normal, traditional female nudity with the, hey, look, everybody, Yuri's naked?
I love fan service just as much as anybody else, and you want to put any of those 3 naked in front. Well, not the Yuri from Russia because he's 15. It would be wrong. But
that would be very wrong.
But if you want to put Yuri and Victor naked on my screen, I'm good with it because it's more popular and more accepted in real life and anime definitely. For women, I mean, who hasn't seen a pair of anime tits?
Yeah, I don't know. I'm pretty sure that at some point somebody.
So everywhere. I mean, so you wanna show me a fine man ass and full nudity? Go for it. I can appreciate it. Just don't make it all about the fan service.
Right. What would you say to? I mean, you're obviously comfortable with a homosexual couple engaging and whatnot on this platform, which I happen to know from knowing you that you're okay with it on any platform, including reality, because it's part of our world. What are your thoughts on to those people who say, yeah, you're just paying it lip service because you want to appear, but really, I mean, you're only into it because it's 2 hot guys?
I would say that that's just not true. It's not necessarily about if it's 2 hot guys. I mean, I've accepted 2 females getting together. It's not, I don't sit down and go, which 2 hot guys or which 2 hot girls am I going to ship today? If they make sense. This is, when it's in a platform like a TV show, a movie, a book, anime, manga, anything, it has to make sense to me because the couples in real life, they make sense. Their stories connect them and their relationship connects them. So with entertainment, it has to make sense these 2 people are together.
Like Naruto.
Naruto and Sasuke would have made sense to me. But that's not the way the story went, so I don't hold it against anybody. But, like, it makes sense that Yuri would be attracted to Victor. It makes sense. It's not like I'm slapping 2 hot guys together for no reason. So, I would say that, people who say, oh, it's just because they're men and they're hot, that no, that's not what it's about for me. The story is what it's about. The fact that they're hot is just the cherry on top.
Icing on the cake, that's all. What would be your reaction, say, for whatever reason, Yuri on Ice, the directors and the writers decide at some point to pull back from the undercurrents there and actually put them in separate directions with a normal or traditional, if you want to use that word.
Heterosexual?
Yes, thank you. Relationship.
I would say that was the biggest queer baiting ever.
And it would be wrong.
It would be wrong, and
I say this because I know for a fact she ships Yuri and Victor.
I do.
Hard.
And I tried so very hard not to.
Final question. Say you're a history major, and I bring that up because say you had an opportunity to write and create and develop your own anime that was based on historical times, and you got to historically in a platform correct a major wrong or fault or characteristic or some flaw that you find either with the timeline, you can like say you want to wipe out Hitler and you just want to do away with that whole adventure, or you just want to pick a moral standing and say, hey, I'm going to just get rid of bigotry. What would you change in your historical anime, and why would you change it?
There's so much that I would like to just hit redo, or undo on history. I would think that I would redo moral wrongs. I mean, you can't take away war, and as horrific as Hitler and what he did was, it taught people a lot, especially about how far is too far. I mean, he almost eradicated a whole race. So it's just, I would go with moral wrongs. So like, homophobia. I mean, I would erase that. Love is love, and
If you happen to get it that way, that's all.
Everybody says it's their right. It's my business. It's none of your business. But yet, those very same people that are saying that are homophobic or against even homosexuality being portrayed on a TV show or in a movie just because they don't like it or they're uncomfortable with it. But I'm like, but those people that are homosexual have to sit and endure heterosexuality all the time, and they don't hate you for it.
They don't judge you and say, hey, take that away, I don't want to see it.
So I would go and whatever point in time homophobia became this big thing where they just want to confine it to this bubble and of you can't step out of that bubble. You have your own genre to have your homosexuality portrayed in. I would take that out.
Well, especially since it's perfectly acceptable and done on numerous occasions to have main or side characters who are female involved with other female characters.
Yeah.
And to say, take your male characters and put them in their little bubble and don't move them out of it is just kind of hypocritical. Good platform. Good thoughts. I believe that concludes all of our questions.
All right then. So thank you for everybody who tagged me, and there were several of them. I couldn't possibly name you all. I'm horrible at remembering usernames. So thank you, Ange, for joining me.
You're welcome.
And moderating. Thanks for tuning into Kit Kat about all that. It's my anime tag. Look forward to my review on Yuri on Ice, as well as my review for the TV show Designated Survivor. Coming soon. Check y'all later.